welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall see what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where we'll be vibing and chatting, relaxing, or cool, shooting some people outside of school. No, that's a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Anyone, remember that? Of course, everyone remembers that, probably. I don't know. I watched a bit of it when I was younger, but I honestly don't recall it all too well, so perhaps that's something we should move swiftly on from. But yeah, what was I going to talk about? Oh, you know what I was going to talk about? I was actually going to talk about this yesterday, but I don't know, I ended up talking about random stuff instead. But I made a YouTube short, which you can go watch, I suppose if you don't watch a Chicory Colourful Tale series, when, there's a little snippet from it, but we'll get into that in a second. Hello everyone, right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:14 PM on Friday, April 15, 2022, so we know Sahara's visiting. Yeah, I made a YouTube short. YouTube shorts came out a while ago, and I never really bothered with them, and I don't really browse them to be fair. Like it's the same sort of thing that I usually do, where I don't browse any other things I participate in. Like I make YouTube videos, but I only really watch one YouTube person, etc., etc. Oh my word! Why do we have so many things on our inventory? We need to clear out our mailbox again, apparently. But yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I made a YouTube short, which are basically just, short videos, which are basically smaller than a minute or so, which, I've took the time to edit a little bit of something together. Okay, let's try and find some people's letters to potentially get rid of, because we have a few little bit too many, which is us clocking up our inventory. Mira's... What's this one, Mira? Oh, that's Mira's birthday one. Okay, let's try and keep the birthday ones from villagers who have gone. We don't really need any of our other ones. Look at all these villagers. Okay, get rid of this one. Sorry, Jakey. Yeah, so I edited together a little YouTube short. You can look for yourself if you want to try and find it, because it's just, it's on my channel. It's just kind of it's kind of vibing out there, to be perfectly honest. That's probably good enough for now. It's about me doing one of the art classes in Chicory, and I painted a cute little creature and I edited it together. And you might be like, whoa, I didn't know you could edit things, dear darling, and indeed I can. I can't say I'm the best at editing, and honestly I'm a little bit more comfortable with After Effects when I am using DaVinci Resolve, but I don't have After Effects anymore, so I'm just using the free version of DaVinci Resolve. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter when you're editing a minute long clip anyway, because you can kind of do whatever. You could probably do it in Windows Movie Maker, but I think that's not actually a software program anymore. I think they not closed it down, but stopped supporting it or something, but I don't really recall. Anyway, it turns out DaVinci Resolve has a very helpful built-in function for adding subtitles to things, which makes things rather easy to add, captions as you go along. So yeah, go give it a watch. It's not the most entertainingly funny thing I think of word, but I think it's just sort of nice. I thought it was just a nice moment which could be stitched together. And honestly, anything can become a little bit more entertaining if you do a little bit of video editing to cut out pauses and that sort of thing. In comedy, timing is quite a heavily emphasised part of it, and for good reason. It contributes a lot to whether something ends up being entertaining or not. But yeah, I do intend to make more of these sort of clips. That clip was actually super quick. I think I did that in 20 minutes or something, just stitching things together. It certainly helped that I didn't mean to visit someone else. I do intend to get some more clips from other things of different Let's Plays. But the biggest problem of trying to do these clips is not really the editing part, it's actually just trying to remember funny things which have happened, because I said this before, I don't watch my videos. I'm just kind of here recording when, I upload them and just set them out into wild. But I do remember bits and pieces when I'm prompted. So when people leave comments about certain things, and I do, a lot of the time, unless it's a very old video, I'll sort of remember what I'm talking about. It happens a lot with Barbara's viewers and someone leaving very helpful comments explaining what's going on. But to be fair, they also leave timestamps, which helps jog my memory quite a bit. So if you do leave those sort of comments, please do leave timestamps, because that's very helpful if you're trying to respond directly to something I'm talking about. Yeah, the hardest part is trying to just think of interesting things which happened, and especially because I don't watch my videos, I don't really have it from perspective of, like a spectator, I suppose, watching a moment being like, that's a pretty silly thing which happened, or that's pretty amusing, or I said something quite kind of funny there. That one I can't imagine is particularly often. It's not like I'm saying the funniest things in the world, but you get what I mean? It's kind of hard when I'm here in the moment trying to figure out what I said which was funny or not funny or entertaining or an interesting thing which happened. But I thought of a few of them, to be honest. I thought of one from Celeste, which I thought would be quite a nice one to have. I kind of have one from Death's Door. I don't think many funny things happen during Death Store, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I can record off the top of my head. But yeah, I do intend to try and make some more of these videos, and I don't exactly have much of a system, of choosing when I'm going to be uploading them, that sort of thing. I think I'm going to try and do it like each Wednesday. I'll just like have a quick upload of a video, might be interesting. Yeah, no, stitched together. And the only reason, you know, like it was just a little bit of an experimental thing what I was going to do, because I was just one afternoon, you know, like how long ago was it? Might have been like 5 days ago or something. I was like, you know, let's just give it a shot. And when I did it, and I was like, wow, that was actually super quick. It was actually like incredibly easy to do. And I to be fair, I didn't put like any heavy editing in it or anything. It's obviously a lot harder to do bigger editing projects with like music and sound effects, etc., with better timing, effects, whatever. I'm not really here for that. It's just a short little clip of me playing. You know, keep it honest, I suppose, typical. Earnest is perhaps a better word rather than honest. But I do intend to do a few more of these clips every now and then. Maybe once a week, maybe not, I don't know. I've been posting them on Twitter and Reddit as well. I kind of keep forgetting, but I need to post stuff on Twitter. Like, I meant to post, you know, I guess I'll do that after I finish recording this video. I was meant to post the thumbnail ads I've done for like previous videos and that sort of thing on Twitter. And I need to be more active on Twitter. I just don't have anything to say, is what I'll be perfectly honest. It's what happens when I do these sort of things. I like... I'm basically like, I don't know what to say on Twitter. I'm not like that entertaining a person. I've got like really nothing to really contribute to the conversation. I don't really have a like shower thought sort of style of Twitter or anything. I don't really see, well, I mean, I do see things, but I suppose in my mind, they don't end up as being all that interesting, you know? A lot of it just tends to be my own private life. And you might be like, hey, but you kind of record half an hour of Animal Crossing every single day, you know, so much about the private stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, I get to choose what I say in Animal Crossing. I, you know, if you haven't noticed, I kind of do mostly talk nonsense each and every day. So it's not really like it's particularly private things I talk about in the first place. I talk about very surface level things, and you know, things which are already well known, etc., etc. I'm getting really off topic here, but anyway, long short, but was I wanted to make some shorts, you know, because I was considering doing like highlight clips or something, like editing montage videos, not montage videos of like best moments or whatever together, but then like I'd have to watch through my series and figure out what the best moments were, and I'm just like, that's a lot of effort. I don't really want to do that. It'd be a lot easier, you know, because you know, on Twitch himself, you can do like clips. Well, I think you can do it on YouTube live streams as well. I'm not too familiar with YouTube live streams, but you like people who watch can do like clips or whatever, and basically take like up to a minute snippet of a stream or whatever you're doing. Or I don't know if you can do it on already uploaded videos. I assume you can, and then you know, send them to people from that. At least on Twitch's end, you can see basically like the whole library of clips for like within a certain time period and see which one got the most views. See, if I, you know, actually live streamed at some point, which, you know, maybe or not, I do, I'm hemming and hawing over it, and eventually, if that eventually happens, like if people make clips and that sort of thing, it becomes a lot easier to be like, oh, you know, that was a funny moment that people found funny. Like in the moment, it's kind of hard to figure out if I said something funny or not. Mainly because I don't really remember what I'm saying. It's kind of just like head empty recording, isn't it? There's not really much of a way of self-awareness of exactly what I'm doing, so that's kind of why it's like a little bit difficult. So I don't know, if you watch, well, I don't think there's much overlap between people who watch different sort of series of my Let's Plays. I'm going to be honest, I think people tend to only watch like one of my series. Like they either watch all the puzzle ones, or they watch the story ones, or they watch the mechanic ones, or they watch these Animal Crossing ones, depending on which part you like. You know, you like watching me do very well in puzzle games, or you like hearing me talk about random nonsense, or you like watching me do surprisingly well on platformers, I'll be honest, or like have some level of tenacity unforetold. Well, unforetold is perhaps a little bit too grandiose. Oh, okay, you just jumped off a tree stump. I was like, I thought Lily was running towards me and it just stopped. But if you do watch any of those series and you can remember a funny moment or something, you know, do leave a comment, like either on the video or, you know, here, and then I'll make a little short snippet out of it, because, you know, it's, while I have been, I suppose, quite inactive on the, you know, whole marketing, well, I'm not sure marketing's the right word, but like getting my name out there front, which, to be fair, I've been, a lot of it is, I've been quite idle on, because I don't really see this as as much of a potential avenue for growth or success. It's just kind of something I want to do recreationally for fun. But I'm just kind of like, at the same time, I do want to, you know, entertain people at the same time. I want to get like words out of games I love and that sort of thing, and spark discussions, etc., etc. It would be a good thing just to share like things I've done, you know. It's a thing I'm not particularly good at, as being like particularly expressive of things, like things I've accomplished, things, sharing things I've done, and, you know, getting my name out there, you know. And to a certain degree, it feels a bit like braggadocious, but, you know, it's not really the same as being braggadocious, you know. I think most people could probably tell you the line between them, like being humble and being proud of yourself, and then being, you know, like a braggart, or, you know. There's another word which is not braggart, but for some reason that's the other word which comes to mind. And, you know, my own scale, I suppose, in my own head is quite broken, which is far shifted down to the never say anything that you've done which is good ever scale, which is, you know, stupid. And, you know, I'm coming to terms with that, you know, and working through it, you know, at my own pace, and being like, that's stupid, you know, why not share these sort of things? I may not be the most entertaining person in the world. Ooh, the Nighttime Island. But I like to think I do at least particularly well with these puzzle games, or at least have an interesting enough spin, I suppose, in my own interpretations and how I play these games, about something. So why not, you know, share these sort of things, get your name out there. So yeah, that Chicory clip was just like the starting point, you know. Shout on YouTube. YouTube shorts get lost like pretty immediately, and I don't have that sort of TikToker, you know, sort of vibe, that Vine vibe. Well, I'm going to grab people's attention, I think, immediately, and then, you know, have like that short burst of flair. As I say, you know, if I always like to compare my my videos to like drinks, where other people are like shots of like soft drinks or like alcoholic beverages, or your morning coffee, and I'm just kind of like a mild tea or something, a mild afternoon tea. I like to have a much more vibey sort of style, which I'm not sure translates particularly well to the current ecosystem of YouTube of being entertaining and sort of larger than life, which is fair enough, you know. I suppose I'm trying to be out here carving my own niche rather than trying to fulfill someone else's, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But at the same time, you know, YouTube's own discovery like system, or trying to find smaller channels and that sort of thing, is pretty bad. Like, I don't even know how half the people who find my videos have found me. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I can only imagine you search for like a game you like one of the ones which people definitely find me through is Bug Fables and Witness, and was certainly one of the more popular ones. And I suppose in more recent times, I'll say the Paradise Planning videos actually get a surprisingly large amount of views than I expect, where people, I guess, want to see other people's customizations, and, you know, that's how I stumbled across it. You probably just search across it, and you just saw I had a custom thumbnail or something, and went, oh, that's interesting, and you clicked on it, and then, you know, about, I suppose, 1% of you stayed, and here you are. Something like that. And I don't say that with any spite in my voice or anything, you know. It's just how the ecosystem works, it's how the grind works, I suppose, with trying to get people's attention and whatnot. Well, and, you know, it's pretty fair that a lot of people would just see my videos and be like, not for me. And that's completely fine, you know. I ain't gonna hold you against your own personal tastes. That's just kind of what life is, you know. The world don't move to the beat of one drum, as they say. But yeah, you know, it certainly can't not be my favourite, I suppose, to try and make some of these things to get, you know, more people to my channel, you know. Because it would be nice, you know, of course, nice being able to make these videos recreationally. You know what's nicer? Being able to make these videos recreationally and also getting paid for it, I suppose, at the same time. Or at least being able to have, like, adverts on it. You know, like getting into the partnership program. Like getting 1,000... Oh, we have so much random stuff in our... Like, we don't need this. Release... We probably shouldn't be releasing it into the freshwater waterfall, but, you know, whatever. That's probably the most hilarious animation I've seen of it, just, like, yeeting itself off. We can drop this. We don't need these. These don't even sell for that much. I don't know how many inventory spaces we need for all of these. Yeah, but it would be nice to hit that 1,000 subscriber, you know, and actually be able to start running, like, small adverts or whatever on my channel, and then, you know, get a little bit back from your hobby. It's always nice when you get a little bit of, I suppose, income back. Oh, I forgot we need to be actually wishing upon these stars. I forgot there were actually falling stars in this game. Not in this game, but some island. I will say I feel like it's more feasible to do Twitch stuff, I suppose, to grow. YouTube is not very good at finding smaller channels, because they don't promote huge smaller channels. They kind of want you to stay on the site for as long as possible, right? That's like what every website wants you to do. So looking at it from a matter meta perspective, why would you recommend a channel which, you know, you don't know if they've even got any good or engaging content on, when you could, you know, recommend MrBeast, PewDiePie, Markiplier, or whatever, who have, you know, tried and proven channels who are very successful at being very entertaining and engaging for people, and, you know, keeping people on the site longer, more adverts, more revenue, numbers go up, etc., etc. But I feel like Twitch is a little bit easier to find smaller streamers, probably by the way that streams are, I suppose, presented separately, rather than, you know, competing against like hundreds of, you know, Markiplier videos. You'd be competing against one Markiplier stream. I don't even know if Markiplier streams are going to be perfectly honest. I think he streams on YouTube. He must have an exclusivity deal with how big he is on it, but I don't actually know. And also, you know, Twitch is a lot easier to filter through like niche categories. You know, you can become a streamer in like a small game, and, you know, if there's not that many streamers probably streaming it, you'll probably get an audience and somehow in that way. So I do mean to. It's just, but before I actually, you know, start streaming, you know, it's something I talked about ages ago. Is that I want to make like just purely for the fact that, you know, I kind of like animation. I kind of like the sort of digital arts and animation of that style of things. Well, I saw ages. This is actually like before VTubing was even that big a thing. Ages ago. I think I must have talked about it. I think in one of my Animal Crossing videos, where I saw that you could actually make your own like animated VTuber style avatar, and I was like, that sounds like a really fun idea to do with my D character, like the deer character I used to represent, who's basically the mascot of a channel. And I thought it'd be like, I could, you know, I watched the tutorial, I watched a couple of tutorials, I'd be like, this seems like something I could do. It's just basically, you know, kind of like doing digital art, just making sure everything's on different layers, and then learning a sort of like a rigging program. And I was like, that sounds like something I definitely want to do, because, you know, I like animation. I certainly love to learn more about animation, but animation takes time, so it sort of like dissuades me from doing it. So, you know, I'm kind of like, I want to make one. And then I'd be like, once I make that, maybe I'll start streaming under that sort of guise, because, you know, it's sort of like when I make these, and I'm not sure how to say, when I'm making these videos, it's totally fine that I don't have much of an audience or anything, because I'm having the joy of making them. But I feel like it's kind of different with a live stream. Kind of like doing a live stream with no one in the audience kind of feels like you're being performative without anyone actually being there. In these YouTube videos, like I guess it's already like written into, not the contract, but you kind of expect to do it, and you'd be like, oh, you know, and I know that. Well, I'm currently performing, I suppose, right now with no one listening, you know, nothing to bounce off of. But I feel like live stream, that element of actually having like a live chat to, you know, bounce questions off of, or have discussions or whatever with, or react to, makes it a little bit more, you know, disappointing, I suppose, to do it with no audience. And I don't mean to say that I'm going to do it and be like, oh, you know, I expect like all my subscribers to turn up or anything. That's silly. But, you know, I'd like to at least have something entertaining, so that if people, you know, randomly stumble across the stream, they'll be like, what's this weird like animated deer in the corner? It'll just be interesting enough for them to stick around on, and actually, you know, grow in that sort of sense. So I guess it's kind of because, you know, YouTube is something I'm just doing for like the passion of fun, but I'm coming at the live streaming perspective from like, if I'm going to do that, that's basically just for growth rather than necessarily straight up for fun. Because I guess to a certain extent I do like being performative in that sort of sense, and, you know, it's one thing. It's kind of like doing YouTube would be like recording on a set or something. You know, there is no audience, but then doing live stream would be like going up on stage and performing in that sort of sense. When you're recording on a set, you kind of don't really care if there's an audience or not. You're kind of doing it in a studio and that sort of thing. You really know there's no audience, unless you're doing a live audience, in which case, you know, that's kind of where the metaphor gets a bit muddled, so perhaps don't think about it too hard. But going up onto stage and just being like, you know, I'll just be like, there was no point. But I don't think that's necessarily so much because of live streaming itself. I think it's more just my attitudes towards it, where, you know, I started doing YouTube just for fun of it, and then live streaming would just be something separate, you know. It wasn't something I was really considering, except for, you know, some people talked about it. And some of my friends even asked what I'd consider doing, and I was like, you know, my initial response was like, no, I don't really have any plans to do it. I'm just kind of doing this because I want to play games for fun. I kind of like doing it on my own schedule. But now, you know, I'm sort of coming around to it and being like, I should at least give it a try, right? And plus, yeah, I might as well give it a try. And even if I do this stuff for it, even I make like mini VTuber avatar, I can still use it for YouTube videos. Even if I do it and decide, yeah, live streaming not really so much for me. I can't see why I wouldn't like live streaming. I suppose it's just like I don't know. I suppose I've tied it too heavily with the idea that I should finish or actually make this, like, I keep calling it VTuber avatar, but I'm pretty sure VTuber is actually like the company name, so I think that's a bit of I'm not sure what a good like analogy for that would be. Like calling it after the company you name rather than what it actually is, you know, like I was gonna say like jacuzzi even things, but everyone calls it jacuzzi, so that's not a really good analogy. It's like saying instead of searching up on the internet, I'd be like, oh, I'm googling it, I suppose. It's like I'm not affiliated with them, so perhaps I shouldn't be using the VTuber word or VTuber name. What's that going with? I actually can't remember. So yeah, you know, I also need to finish the next series, Fawnhallow. How far did I get? I did a bit of it last night, but I actually don't remember how much I got. Oh, it's actually like pretty close to done. I just need to do shading. It kind of looks like, oh no, the background's not quite done. The background's almost done, is what I say. Do you want a small hint of what the next game is going to be? This is your little preview. You've made it this far, 20 minutes into the video. Okay, how am I going to give a good hint for this? I will say there's a lot of masks in this game. And that's what I'll leave you with. I don't know if I actually started doing any of the VTuber drawing thing. I know I made a document for it at some point. Let's see, where is it? Oh, VTuber model. I made a folder for it. Original drawing. Oh, I just collected references. Oh my god, I collected a lot of references. My word. Holy heck. I collected so many references. You know what? As a deer ref, I can add in the new reference I've done for the new Animal Crossing them. Whatchamacallit? Thumbnail art I made. There we go. Pop that in here. There's a new reference. I didn't realise I collected so many references. Well, I don't know, I'll do that at some point, surely. I don't think that's one I'm going to do a time lapse on because there's going to be so much experimentation. I don't want to have to edit all that stuff together. To be perfectly honest. But maybe that'll happen, or maybe it won't. I don't know. Like, it's the kind of thing that I suppose in this sense I'm motivated not by the sense of growth or the appeal I might have, but the appeal, I suppose, intrinsically to me. Or I'm like, this seems like a cool project. I want to give it a shot. And I suppose it's also my sense where I'm like, I'm trying to tie in whatever, I suppose, appeals to me in that sense with also, you know, a sense of particular potential growth. Anyway, so that was basically long and short of me starting out doing all these YouTube shorts. I don't even know how I'll consistently do it. I think a problem I'm definitely going to run into when doing these YouTube shorts is I'm just basically going to be like, I don't know what to make a short of. I suppose what I could do is I'll probably just like skim through some of my videos and try and look for amusing moments. Or, you know what, a better idea is probably just to look through comments and then see what, oh, we need to like put stuff away. I'll see like put moments that people have like highlighted, like I'll put like a timestamp and I'll be like, oh, you know, just gonna take that for myself. Well, I say take that for myself, I guess I am the one who paid for content in the first place, so it's not really taking. It's more like, you know, people went, haha, that's funny, and I was like, oh, that's funny. You find that funny? Maybe everyone will find this funny. Or everyone went, I don't know. Don't think about my analogies too hard, they don't really make all that much sense. I mean, now I think about it, it's an interesting concept to make like YouTube shorts of like the Pocket Camp customizations I've done. But the thing is, you know, the actual like montage shots that they do in the game are utterly terrible a lot of the time. So I'm not sure I'd particularly want to use those. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to edit like a whole separate video, I suppose, together of my of the shots, because I suppose if anything, if I wanted growth, I want it to be from the fact that, you know, people like the commentary I put out, or, you know, find it at least relaxing or vibing, or like my gameplay, you know, through that sort of aspect. Having like a oh my word, having like an Instagram-esque montage, I suppose, of like the interior design skills I put off is going to be like, I don't know. It's not like it rubs me the wrong way or anything. I'm just like, it's sort of like not the image I'm trying to put out. I don't want to paint myself into a corner of something which is not particularly representative. You know, you get me? Do you feel what I'm putting out? I say to no one in particular. Yeah, YouTube Shorts. Basically, I haven't really like. There's only like one channel I've seen YouTube Shorts from. Apart from Northern Line, of course, you know, but, you know, Northern Line's kind of constant, but, you know, he hasn't put out all that many. He's just going to put some out for his top moments, whatever. But, it's this, a channel called Sky, and he's basically someone who, like, analyses, like, character design, or, I suppose, and namely in, like, League of Legends, etc., and things like that. He analyses, like, design and, like, story and how, basically characters, I suppose, in general, and it turns out he has, like, a YouTube channel completely dedicated to these short little clips, I suppose, of these little like minute-long analyses. Analyses? Is that how you pluralise that word? I'm not really sure. So that's really like my only sort of barometer of really what these shorts are even like. Like, I will say, I did browse shorts for a little bit, like on YouTube, just to sort of get an idea, and I was like, man, this is like, I don't care for any of this. I'm hard to please, you know. I've been told that before. I don't know if I told this story before, but I think I was helping out like at an open day or something in my high school, my secondary school. I keep calling it high school now. I've become so Americanized. At my secondary school. I don't remember what I was doing, to be perfectly honest. For some reason I was staying late because I was helping out one of the teachers or something during something. Maybe I think it was an open day, but I honestly can't recall. And then like the teacher wanted to, you know, buy me something from like the local cafe as sort of like a thanks, and he was like, oh, do you drink coffee? And I was like, oh, I don't drink coffee. He's like, do you drink tea? I was like, not really, because at the time I didn't really drink tea. And he's like, food? Do you want food? And I was like, oh, I don't really have much of a sweet tooth. And he was like, soft drink? And I was like, oh, I don't drink fizzy drinks either. And then I just like answered that I kind of only drink water, to be honest. And he was like, you know, you're really hard to please, you know. And obviously he just meant that in a little bit of jest, being like, haha, I can't, you know, apparently I can't buy anything to thank you for, like, you know, staying, you know, way after school to help out with whatever this was. And, you know, it stuck with me a little bit, you know. Obviously he meant it as a joke, and, you know, but behind every sort of bit of comedy there's a little bit of truth, you know. Well, that's not always true, I suppose, but in this case there certainly was. And I think someone, you know, it stuck in my mind because I'm just like, you know, I actually am pretty difficult to please. I think about my friends, like I'm probably quite difficult in a sense to buy gifts for, because I'm very, very particular with the things which appeal to me. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, because of YouTube Shorts. So yeah, that's basically the feeling I got when I watched the YouTube Shorts. I was just like, I don't know if I really care for all of this. Because the YouTube Shorts, like some of them were actually like Critical Role Shorts, because I watched them a bit Critical rather than I've stopped watching Campaign 3, mind you, and they're like, not because it's bad or anything, it's just like I just stopped them and then I just didn't start it up again. I thought the shorts were just like clips from Critical Role, and I was like, oh, I already saw that happen, you know. Or they were just something I was like, I don't even know, there was like this family dancing, and there was a song going like, I'm chicka-chee, I can't remember how it goes. And I go chick 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 chick, something like that. And I was just like, what is this? And when I closed it, and I was like, oh, maybe YouTube Shorts isn't for me. So maybe it's, you know, it's my time. It's my time. Put my videos out there, you know. Put those videos, the clips of my own gameplay, put the things out there for the people like me who have a very specific taste and only like things which I like, which is necessarily, I suppose, definitively an audience of me. Put these little shorts out for the audience of me. That sounds like a title of a book or something, the audience of me. If I write an autobiography, that's going to be my the title. It's going to have absolutely no relevance to what I'm doing. Then you'd be like, oh, you're like a stage comedian or something, audience of me. It's like, no. Well, I suppose in some ways I am. I'm not really much of a comedian. I like to think of myself as stage white noise, if anything. Oh, what's up, Brian? Sorry to charge at you like that, but I've something to give you. So yeah, basically long and short of it, if you watch any of my other series and you'd be like, oh, that's a funny moment, but I remember from the series or whatever. Or if you continue to watch any of my feature series and you see a funny moment that made you go ha ha ha, leave a comment with it timestamp being like, this made me laugh, or like lol, or I don't know, anything. It doesn't really matter. I'll give it a heart and respond to it anyway. Most of the time. I don't respond to every comment, and basically you can know if I gave your I read like every comment. If I gave a thing a heart, as I read your comment and I liked your comment. If I didn't reply to it, it would be like, I didn't really have anything in particular to say, but your comment has been acknowledged. And if I reply to it, then, you know, I reply to it. Because sometimes, and I always wonder if people think it's a little bit weird that they like to type of like 4 different things in a comment, which is, by the way, but just straight, it's fair, like, don't stop doing that. I mean, don't stop doing that. I just like, find it a little bit strange, I suppose, when they type up 4 things and I just reply to like the 3rd point only or something. I wonder if people find that a little bit strange or anything, but, you know, hopefully you don't. It's just what, you know, I do, you know, some things I'm just like, I don't really have a response to that, but, you know, it was interesting, or like, I acknowledge it, etc., or whatever. It's just the thing, I feel like I don't ever have anything interesting to say. Hence I don't tweet, hence you know, my replies tend to be short. I don't even, like, say anything in my Discord. I don't even know what to say, to be perfectly honest. That's kind of it. That's just who I am, you know. You know, I'm much to the beat of my own drum, I suppose. But anyway, we're going to round off this episode here. So check out that YouTube short, give it a like, give it a comment, promote it, that sort of thing. You know, do whatever you want. Share it with your best friend, share it with your grandma, share it with your dog. I don't know, maybe your dog likes it. But yeah, hopefully look forward to a few more of those in the future. If I remember to do them. Probably try and do them every Wednesday. Don't know if I'll stick to that. We'll see how things go. But for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me, Dear Darling Discord, or follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.